Every grinder creates heat. This changes the way the coffee breaks apart. This changes particle size, and particle size changes shot time. Most cafes think inconsistency is down to the coffee machine, but most of the time, it's the grinder that's the culprit. So in this video, I want to break down grinders and heat and speak to why Ceado has spent a lot of energy and focus on managing heat in their Rev Series grinders. Now first, what happens in a grinder when heat is generated during grinding? So first we get uneven expansion. The burrs, the chamber, the shaft will all expand at different rates. And this means the cutting gap shifts. Second is we get alignment changes. These tiny shifts in alignment will change particle size and resulting extraction. Third, the beans in the grinder waiting to be ground will start to heat up. The beans will start to flex rather than shatter, making the particles behave more like a coarser grind set. And this explains the shot speeding up as the heat goes up and the cafe gets busier. So what happens on bar when these three aspects stack on top of one another to cause shifts in our grind set? Well, the pattern's usually like this. We dial in a cool grinder in the morning and the shots sit exactly where we dial them. The rush hits, temperature rises, and our shots start to run faster. The baristas compensate by finding up the grind. The rush ends, the grinder suddenly cools, and the shots start to run slower or even start to choke. And the barista has to recompensate with the grind set. That cycle is where waste, frustration, and flavor drift start to happen. I want to show you a real example after a busy period of two different grinders. On the conventional grinder, the temperature dropped a lot. And as it cooled, the shot time slowed by several seconds, even though the grind set never changed. On the Rev Series, you can see the temperature hardly moved, and the shot times hardly moved with it. This means less chasing of the grinds, less waste, and the flavor stays closer to what you dialed in the morning. Some grinders try to control this by applying heat into the chamber. The problem is heat might stabilize the chamber, but it's not so great for coffee. Think about any food or fragrance. Bread, wine, coffee. As you start to apply heat, you start to smell its aromas. This is the release of volatile aroma compounds, and once they're gone, they're never coming back. Grinding hot coffee is exactly the same. The heat will drive off those delicate aromas before they're captured by that hot water in the pot. So Ceado's grind temperature management system is all about controlling that heat rather than adding it. So first is motor separation. By having the motor separated from the grind chamber, the heat doesn't travel up the same way to start heating up the coffee. The second is a thermal architecture, the heat sink. The grind chamber is a 2.5 kilo big solid metal mass. Now this draws the heat away from the cutting zone rather than allowing it to concentrate. So this acts more like a radiator rather than an oven. And finally, there's airflow. This takes that radiated heat and circulates it out of the system. And while all this happens, the steady lock will compensate for any uneven expansion, keeping the grind set and alignment far more constant through busy and quieter periods. So instead of fighting temperature all day, this manages the heat before it ever reaches the coffee. So in practice, this shows up in three simple ways. Number one, shots stay in a tighter time window, even through longer rushes. Two, the beans entering the burrs stay closer to ambient temperature, so they behave the same way from morning to afternoon. And number three, the baristas spend less time chasing the dial and more time serving customers. Now finally, great grinders are designed to have minimal free play and wobble, which gets exacerbated through heating up and cooling down. Now this gets worse as a grinder gets old, so managing heat becomes even more important. This isn't about just having great flavor today. It's about having a machine that will work for you reliably, remain consistent, and give you the best outcomes for your business. To wrap up, grinders do not need to be hot to be fast. Stability should not come at the cost of flavor. By controlling uneven expansion, alignment, and temperature, the Rev Series keeps the grind chamber more predictable to keep shot times more consistent and preserve those delicate volatile aroma compounds that give you incredible flavor coffee.